Hello, and welcome here on my working table. My name is Lisbeth. I'm Danish mixed media abstract artist, and I like to do many sorts of things. And I have a lot of different videos divided up in playlists. So look at the playlist and find what interests you. But this week here, or in this video here, I was thinking this morning when I stood up that it was a very long time since I have worked in this quite big sketchbook. And in this sketchbook I only do grid collages, and if you don't know what grid collages is, it is collages made in grids, and a grid is this way here. And I have several here in my book in all different color schemes. Some of them there are videos on, and I can put a link below for that. Here I placed it low on the paper. Yeah, and I think this was the last one I make. I know there's a video on this one, and I also think there is on the green one. So these are all made of scraps, and most of my own papers and other bits and bobs, and they often are in a specific color theme or with a specific thing here. In this case there is a small red dot on all of them. But now I'm ready here for doing what I want to do today. And today I want to do it a little. I will take this away here. Place it over there. Perhaps you saw on the small intro this picture here. I have taken all different kinds of black things I can make marks with, and a lot of different mediums I can in a specific color, in this yellow ochre color. And these are the only things I will use here today. So the plan is to make a paper, and you can use any kind of paper for this. This is a very light color, not color, but light. It is only 160 GSM watercolor paper, but you can use copy paper, drawing paper, all sorts of paper for this, because it doesn't matter. Don't use your best papers for this, that is needed. But I will just remove this. And then I will fill the page, not the page, but the paper, with these two colors. There will be white areas, but you can see what I'm doing when I start doing it. And when I'm done with that, I will make a grid with 4 by 4 centimeters, and what that is in inches I really don't know, but the size is what it is. You can do it in all kinds of sizes. I made an arrow here, you can see, so that's why there is an extra. And then I can take my scissor and cut it up. I can also, if I have just painted it, lie it here on my cutting mat and then cut it up. You have both options. But you work on the other side of the paper. And then I fill this out with all this kind of mark making and cut them up in these small squares. And then I will put them totally random in a grid in my book and see how that looks. You can do it as many times as you like. Take pictures in between and end up and say that is what you like and glue them in. But you can also, and that is what I will try to do here, perhaps just put them in totally random. Close your eyes and pick one of the small squares, glue it in, take the next, glue it in. And then I will see if I somehow can connect all these small squares with some lines, black lines. That is what my plan is. So why not just get started and see what happens. I will just cut this off because I ain't going to need that, and then my paper will be a little smaller. And also here at the other end, cut that off. So maybe it can be in, would be able to see the whole paper here on the video. But else, I think you can see what I'm doing. So now here, I can also cut this off here. So it's ready. If you don't like to use a knife, you can do it with a scissor, but I think it gets more neat. I'm better at using a knife and get them straight than if I use a scissor. Okay, now I have my piece of paper here. Yeah, I can't be all in frame, but I think it's okay. I will start with the black and do all the black marks first. And I have this fat Posca pen here, so I will just, and I don't mind that. In fact, I really like it. And there you can see there are some, whoops, it is flying away. There are some dirty marks, but I don't mind that either. So I think I will find something to put under here so I don't get out on my cutting mat, or I can do something different. I don't need my mat right now, so I will just remove it, and now you can see my very dirty underpaper here, but now I can easily smear and do whatever I fancy to do. That was that big fat black one here. And your marks will probably look a lot different than mine will. This is a piece of graphite, so you can do it one way or the other way. Let us put them up there. I have used. Then I have a China marker. You can see they all make different marks. Now I'm holding it here at the end, so I have no control, very little control over what I'm doing. I think this one is a little heavy, a little thicker in the line. Yeah, perhaps not. But again, yeah, there it was. That one, and this is just there's graphite in there, and that would give a very thin line. So I think this is enough. I also have this one here, but normally I put it in water. I think I would take this one instead. That's an Inktense that also can be water. It is water soluble, but I won't use water here. But again, it would look different. I think this is enough black marks. I can show it this way, but you can draw it whatever way you want to draw. So now I will come in with my colors, and again I will just fill some of the areas out. Not them all. I would really like there is some white space also. But I take one color at a time and do some areas spread all over the paper here. And you can see that I ain't specifically need this is a quite fat one, this Stabilo oil here. Then I also have this sticks that can smear a little. So let me see. I think I will go all over it. And here I go over the black line, but I don't care. And here I can use my finger to smear it a little. You don't have much time with this stick. Other sticks you have a longer time, but there. So I will just hurry. This is just some cheap one from the dollar store. Not a dollar store, but here in Denmark we have a brand called Søstrene Grene, and I know you have it in other cities in Europe. You can buy this. Yeah, it really looks funny when I do that here, and I like that. So, yeah. Enough of that, and you can always come back to it. So let us see this one. Perhaps is that a little more? Yeah, that is too greenish. That is not what I want here. So I have these, and this is the gelatos, and they are easier to smear. Much more easier than the ones I had, the cheap ones I had. So, if you can see, I'm doing it totally random. And you can, of course, pick any color you like. It doesn't have to be the colors I'm using here. If this doesn't take so much time, I can always try to make one in another color, but that depends on the length of this video, and I don't know yet how long time this will take me. So this was this color here. Then I have that's an oil pastel. Let us see if that's the color we can use. Normally when you use oil pastel you have to fix them or fixate them, and but I don't think I need to do that here. So I will also just go in with some color here and smear that. You can see all different colors. So I will work my way through this color also. Whoops, and that's smeared, but I don't mind that. Where am I? Can we put one up here, perhaps? Yeah. Okay, this looks like this so far. I will continue. So let's paint a little more. Here I have another gelato. That sounded quite Italian. I think it is the same as ice cream in Italian, gelato, but I'm not sure. Perhaps there is an Italian person looking and you can tell me. If I'm right or I'm wrong. They are quite nice to paint with. Really like painting with lipstick. Creamy and buttery and nice. So that one and that one, let us do this one. What is this? Koinor. I think it is a color pencil of some kind. So let us. They give a quite different mark than the creamy ones. But the variety of this is what makes it interesting, in my humble opinion. So again, yeah. That was the same as this one here, so I think I will push a little harder so I can make it darker, so it don't look exactly the same. Yeah, how about this one here? You can see I'm not thinking at all, I'm just doing. But, I will have to remember to leave some white marks. And I also have this one here, Luminac, in a color. Let us see what color that is. It's quite funny here to gather materials in one specific color, to see how many different materials to work with. We all gather so many things and seldom we use them all. We end up with things we like to work with more than others. I do. Of course I don't know what you do, but sometimes you forget you have some things. And I'm not so bad at it anymore, but when I started out this mixed media thing here, every time I saw somebody at YouTube, or when I perhaps took classes, or I thought I needed all this material that the person that was teaching was having, and in fact you don't need so much of everything. Yeah. So now I'm going to stop. Oh, that is yeah, perhaps I've used it before, Neo Color 2. Karen Dash Neo Color 2. They are water soluble, but you don't have to put water on them. And you can squeeze hard or press hard, or you can just do it with mom's light hands, and then it gives different looks, and that is a nice thing, I think. Variety and differences is what makes this interesting. And the $100 question is when to stop. When is there enough going on, or enough white? This is really hard to stay inside the lines with this chunky one. But it doesn't matter so much. So I think perhaps I want some more black marks. But not going through the color. Yeah, you can keep on and on here. No, that was the same. Yeah, who says you can't mix them? Of course you can mix them. That's also an option. Yeah, enough of me painting here. I think you can see what I'm doing. So I will look at it and see if it needs more, and then I will cut it up. But I like there is some white areas. Yeah, she said, and then continued. I like these small areas to have some. Yeah, okay. I think this is enough. This is a piece of drawing paper. It's a little heavier than copy paper, but if I turn it this way, I can look through it. You probably can't. Yeah, perhaps you can. But then I can see there are a little of everything on each square. So I will find my cutting board and cut both with a scissor and a knife. Make it into small squares. I already made this grid, so it is quite easy for me to cut it up. So I will just do that. Okay. And then I will take my scissor instead of using my knife here. That would take a lot of time. So I will just do it like this here. And then I will find my scissor here and be very neat. cut them up. And it is so funny to look at them. You don't know what you get. Some of them have more things on than others. So I will do this with all this paper here. So now for the fun part. I have all these cut up here with the back up, and I have been mixing them around. So, oh sorry, I will start from the bottom and see what happens. So I will just take one by one and see what happens. You can always twist and turn them, but for now I will just, I think I will take 5 this way. And see, I think I can have 7 the other way. And I don't know if I will be in frame, but we will see. Isn't that funny? You never know what you can expect here. And sorry for my arms, but it can't be different than that. When I know I should be looking at that now, but I don't like 2 crosses so close to each other there. So I think, yeah, there's also a cross there. So I'll just exchange that. That just jumped up in my eyes, so yeah. There's missing one, so I will remove these 3 here and perhaps put them in somewhere where I think they could look nice. But isn't that funny how this look? I like the one with the crosses on. So spread a little all over. And I also like the really bold marks. Some of them have. And you can say, this is it. I'm going for this. I think it looks okay, but you can of course play with them as much as you like. I can put a little more distance between them, and that is what I was planning. And then try to connect some of the lines, so some of the black lines, so there would be black lines here out on the paper. That is also one way you can do it, and perhaps I would do that. Or I will start gluing these down, and then I will see how much time I have used, because I have one in another book. Then I can show you to you what it is I'm meaning. But if I haven't used so much time on this video, I will also try to connect the lines. But the way I am gluing these down is I start in one corner, and it doesn't matter which corner it is, and put a lot of glue stick on. And of course you could use matte medium, you can use anything. And I have a paper here beside me, and then I think I will go as far out of here as I can there. And I think I can come a little up there. And then I can take my ruler and take this one here, the other corner, and put that down. And I can't for the life of me remember which way it was, so I will just stick it down and see if I'm on some way online. There. And then I have these three I don't measure now. I will just eyeball it, but I can see if I let this two be and glue that one down, then I will be probably in the middle. Yeah, it looks fine, and I don't mind if it gets a little crooked. Do I have a small piece of book, so I don't smear my paper? I have an old cloth here in my drawer. Yeah. And then I can glue these two on. And then you can see they are lined up quite nice. And again, I will do the same with one of the sides and take this side and this side. And then it is quite easy to place them just by eyeballing them. So you don't need to see me doing all this gluing. So I will glue all these down, and then I can see what we will be doing. And I can look at the time also. So done with all the gluing, and they are sitting there some, yeah, the best I can. I have eyeballed it, and there's a little more and there. But some of you, perhaps if you look at the last little clip, can see some of them are sitting a little different. And you stupid woman, as I know I ain't stupid, it's just a saying. But there was a small something, yeah, and automatically you go and blow, and then they flew away. So I just put them in totally random again. But I don't think there's any place where I have put them exactly side by side where I have cut them through there. I don't think that anywhere there is such place. So I think it looks quite nice, and I get more happy by looking at this than I did at looking at my big piece. My big piece wasn't something to write home about, but I like this look here, and you can do it. These are 4 by 4 centimeters, and again, yeah, that is 4 by 4, and I really don't know what that is in inches. I know you have to 1 inch is 2.5 centimeters, so it's a little under 2 inches. But you can make them any size you want, depending on your paper. And I have some examples here I want to show you. This is made exactly the same way. They are just even smaller, these ones here. They are only 3 by 3 centimeters. And I think that they look so nice. And then I have these 2 pieces. I have glued this. This was a piece of the paper and this was a piece of the paper, and just glue them over each other, because that line then went this way, and perhaps I'd have drawn a little or make a little overlap there, or else it was like this. I can't remember, but that is really something if you can make bigger pieces put together like this. So this is just one way, and it is a lovely spread. And in another sketchbook, you know, I like sketchbooks. And then I have this book here, and this is what I was talking about. These here are the same size, 4 by 4 centimeters, and I just did exactly the same. There's not much white here, because then at this stage I didn't sort of making places white. They are a little grayish. And then I looked at the lines and connected them, and this gives again a different look. I don't know if I can come closer. Yeah, no. I can take some close-ups at the end of the video, but this was I was thinking about doing on this one. You can see they are quite heavily black here, and instead I think I will try to go for the finer lines here. And I really don't know if I am going into, if this will bleed. This is a cheap paper, so maybe I will bleed through. I hope not. But if you look here, yeah, you can hardly see it, but there's a line and a line there. So for me it would be obviously to go like this. And here, this line I can connect with that line, and this line I can connect with that line, and then that's what I will be doing. And of course you can see there isn't a line there, but I think that if I elongated this line and go over there, that could look nice. And again, take this line and go over there. Yeah, now I'm going through oil paint with this, oil sticks with this, and it doesn't like that, but and again over here. So I'm now down to this. You never know what you get when you're doing it like this. But isn't that funny? And some places perhaps there isn't an obvious route to go, but then you can invent one. Nobody is saying you have to do. Do it exactly in the lines, but I think it is quite funny to try to follow some of the lines. And this one here, I think I will go here and over here and elongate this one here and down here, perhaps over to this one, and make this one down here. And there you can see there's a line there and there's a line there, so why not put them together? My intention isn't to plaster it on with a lot of lines, just connect some of them. That is funny. Sorry if I'm getting very silent, but I'm concentrating. And what do we have here? Not so much. Yeah, this line here. I'm making much more curvier lines here, I think. There, you can connect these two. And this can go up. There. And there. And there. Yeah, what can we do here? Boop, boop, boop. I think I will extend this one here. There. Go down to that one. I'm just going over here. There. There. And sometimes you have to stop, but there isn't a single one of these who are floating around by itself. They are all connected at least one place, and I think that is enough. You could of course have taken a thick pen and done it, but this is another way, this way here. If you like it or you don't like it, tell me. That's what could you have done. Do I have to continue, or will it get too much? Oh, yeah. Tell me what you think. Some places there are more than other places. I think I will stop here. So this was this day's exercise. So you need a lot of different pens and black and another color. And you can choose any color you want. You can see this here is a blue greenish one. But since this is in my board game with these ochre and rusty colors, I chose that. You can, the bigger your paper are, the smaller you cut your squares out, the bigger the piece you can get. But play with it. That is a really, really fun exercise, this one. And I hope you will give it a try. And please tell me what you think of it. I have these 4 small squares here left. And this is what I was talking about before. You can see this black line there. I will show it when I'm in the I'm high up right now, so you can see all of it. So now I will come in closer. Just a sec. This is what I was meaning. There's this black line there, and there's this black line here. Then you can connect them, for instance, there. If you will overlap or do something else. That's again, just start playing with that. You could put that in there, so this line will go over there. Then you have a little collage in a funny shape. That is something you can play with too. You can also, instead of doing this totally random as I did, you can turn them around and move them around until you have an composition you think looks nice, but I don't think it matters so much when there are so many small pieces as there are here. I have just turned my book the other way and now it is the right size. I apologize for being so high up before, but if you should be able to see all the things I was working on, I had to do that. But I think this is a fun way to play, and you never know what you get. And I like that. It is so unpredictable what you get. So give it a try. Tell me what you think. So I will just take some close-ups here at the end of the video, and then I will just say, please be creative, and please take care. And not but least of all, please be nice to each other. And may you all have a happy Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever you are celebrating. And if you're not celebrating, all the best to you anyway. Bye bye for now and see you soon.